G'day, minun nimi on Howie Fitzmaurice and welcome to the Estonian Cricket Weekly. The ICC T20 European Sub-Regional World Cup Group C has begun in Belgium. The home side is hosting Denmark, Gibraltar, Hungary, Israel, Malta, Portugal and Spain. The tournament runs from June 28th until the July 4th, with the winner advancing to the European qualifying where they will face Germany. Group B will take place in Finland from July 12th to 19th and includes home side Finland, Croatia, Cyprus, Greece, Italy, Isle of Man, Romania, Serbia, Sweden and Turkey. Finally, Group A will also be held in Finland from July 24th to 31st and will include teams from Austria, Bulgaria, Czech Republic, France, Guernsey, Luxembourg, Norway, Slovenia, Switzerland and of course Estonia. So a huge amount of European T20 international action is taking place in the next 6 weeks, and you can catch all the action on ICC TV, where every game in the qualifiers will be streamed live.
In January this year, Oman was hosting the Legends Tour, which comprised of such players as Brett Lee, Jonathan Trott, Shoaib Akhtar, Howie, Kevin Peterson, Monty Panesar, Murali, Brad Haddon, the list goes on and on and on. The idea was to have a 3-team tournament played in Muscat, evening matches, and the ECA took the view of this is going to be a pretty easy, accessible venue to attend, where we could possibly interact with some of the international players. This is one of the first big tournaments post-COVID, and we took this opportunity, David and myself, to fly down to Oman at very short notice to try to catch up with these guys. Things didn't always go to plan. There was no spectators allowed at the stadium once we got there, so there's a few bits and pieces that we had to organise through the Oman Cricket Association. David and I got down there, we went to attend the first match, and we were met at the gates by Iqbal. He had to escort us into the ground and put us in a roped off facility, and we were officially guests of the Oman Cricket Association. So we managed to see 3 or 4 games of cricket while we were there, and we had this other idea as well to personally invite as many players as we could, meeting them face to face, invite them back to Estonia across the next couple of years. Unfortunately, due to COVID restrictions, we weren't able to gain access directly to the players, so we had to think of another option. So what we did is we personally addressed an envelope to each of the players there, and inside this envelope, if we open up here, each player would get some photos of what's been going on in the Estonian Cricket Association, so they can get a bit of idea of the people and the grounds and the facilities that are happening here. And then they got a personal invite on behalf of the Estonian Cricket Association to attend either the Baltic Cup, the domestic finals this year, and also to attend the Montenegro Cup down in Montenegro at the end of September, which we've been invited back to from a recent visit as Italian Hippos. As we were unable to get these invites to each person individually, we messaged our good ECA friend Brett Lee and asked if we were able to hand over the invites to him at his hotel or at the grounds. Being an absolute legend that he is, organised to meet us at the hotel straight after one of his matches, and Rob and I made our way to his hotel. He came down in his playing kit. Poor guy looked a little bit tired, he'd had a busy 2 weeks, and we presented him with an ECA National Guernsey for all his trouble, and we also gave him about 25 envelopes to give to his rest of the world team. On one of the days off, we caught up with the Al Hale Cricket Club and the president. He came and picked Dave and I up, and we went out to the cricket grounds to see the facilities of what is happening in Oman cricket. He showed us the pitch, the ground, he showed us the work they'd done on the nets. They had to cut the net area out of the actual rock face in the ground. And then he took us inside to their clubhouse, showed us their trophy room, put on a lovely afternoon tea, and we shared merchandise with each other. He then dropped us back at the hotel, and from that point on, we've been friends for life. Towards the end of the week, we managed to get the final in as well. It was a very hard-fought final, and the rest of the world team ended up winning. Unfortunately, on that day, Shoaib Akhtar hurt his knee again and was unable to finish his spell. But all in all, it was a pretty productive exercise. Many thanks to Brett Lee for coming into the hotel, otherwise we may not have had a chance to hand out all those envelopes. We flew back to Estonia, and within 2 or 3 days, we received contact from Howie and also Kevin O'Brien, and we started negotiations with these two superstars to see if they could come out to Tallinn. Schedule-wise, everyone was pretty busy for the whole summer. So players like Peterson and Ronnie Panesar, Brad Haddon, etc., Jaya Surya, they all had their seasons booked out, so they were unable to do anything this year. Kevin O'Brien ended up being the first player to come out. I think it was March, and he ran a national training session for our national cricket side in one of the indoor domes that we have here in Tallinn. We hired it off the local soccer club. We ran a 2-hour session there, and Kevin O'Brien gave us some tips and pointed out some stuff that we've been working on ever since then. So I'd like to thank you, Kevin, for coming out for that week, and we really hope you enjoyed your stay. Due to other commitments, OA Shah will be coming out towards the end of the season, possibly the start of the winter season, so we look forward to seeing OE out soon. And also we recently had Jonathan Trott come out for the weekend where we went to Finland, so thank you, Jonathan, for taking the weekend out of your busy schedule to come across to Estonia. In summary, all in all, it was a pretty brave decision, spur of the moment decision to go down and try to meet these players, but it ended up working out quite well for us, and we're hoping to do it again next year. We're hoping it's in Oman. There's great facilities down in Cricket Oman, and we look forward to our next little special venture coming up soon. More details to be announced. And one final thank you again to Paul Bradley for making all this happen. Without your connections, we would not have been able to get as close as we did.
This week's previews brought to you by Sportsbet.io. T20, well, it's the Riders v the Rising Stars. Riders sitting on 5 points from 5 games, with Rising Stars on 5 from 4 games, so it's a big game with both teams sitting just outside the top 4. I'm tipping the Stars though for the win, but look out for Tanveer Ahmed, who's back with his finger repaired. For Rising Stars though, Shoaib, he's been firing well with both bat and ball.
T20 Game 1, Tallinn Riders versus Tallinn Rising Stars. The last time these two teams faced off, it was a fearsome battle. It was a nail-biting finish in which eventually Rising Stars were victorious. But this time, Tallinn Riders would need to one-up. I predict that Tallinn Riders will win the match, and the player to look out for is Hardik.
Wolves v United. Wolves needing a win against an experienced United. I'm tipping United for the win. Look out for Ali Raza, who's coming off 23 runs and a wicket last time out. Ankur Patel, who cracked a 37 off 23 balls last time out, could be a big one for United.
Game 2, Tartu Wolves versus Tallinn United. Tallinn United have a strong squad, and I believe will have the upper hand against Tartu Wolves. Tartu Wolves have a decent bowling lineup, but I believe they need to perform well with the bat. But my prediction would be Tallinn United, and player to watch out for is Ankur.
Wolves v Stallions. Wolves in a must-win against a quality Stallions outfit. I'm tipping Stallions for the win. Asif Sattar playing well, picking up a wicket in his last game. Look out for him. For the Stallions, look out for Pranay Gwala, who recently took 3 for 19 against the Tigers.
Game 3, Tartu Wolves versus Tallinn Stallions. Tartu Wolves playing their second game on the trot would be difficult against the strong batting lineup of Tallinn Stallions. I believe Tallinn Stallions have the upper hand against Tartu Wolves. My player to watch out for is Stallion stalwart Saif.
The Tigers v United game. Well, Tigers' last T20 was a win against the Hippos. They'll need to be at their best versus United. I'm tipping United for the win. For the Tigers though, look out for Sultan Mahmood, coming off a 3 for 30 and 16 not out with the bat. For United though, Samil Chauhan coming off a 16 not out off 14 balls.
Game 4, ST Tigers versus Tallinn United. Tallinn United would be playing their second game of the day. Their bench strength would be tested. On the other hand, ST Tigers winning a good game of cricket against Hippos have the spirits high. It would be a competitive game, but Tallinn United have a little edge over them. Player to watch out for is United's Anurag.
In our high 40 game, we have the Riders v Strikers, a must-win for the Riders if they are to stay in touch of the group. I'm tipping the Strikers though for the win. Chit Nigam, a player to watch out for the Riders. He has 75 off 88 in his last 40 over game. For the Strikers, Tarun Devella, who picked up 3 wickets in the Strikers win over the Stallions.
40 overs competition game 1, Tallinn Riders versus Tallinn Strikers. Tallinn Strikers are on the top of the table and they have very good opening partnership of Habib and Arslan. If Tallinn Riders have to get close to the game, they have to get those 2 wickets early. But my pick for the match is Tallinn Strikers.
Stallions v the Rising Stars. Well, last time these 2 teams met was in a T20 several weeks ago, with the Stallions getting over the win in the last over. I'm tipping the Stallions to do it again, but look out for Shoaib, who hit a quick 56 off 42 in that T20 game. For the Stallions, Ram Krishan will be looking to replicate his 4 for 16 against the Rising Stars.
40 overs game 2, Tallinn Rising Stars versus Tallinn Stallions. Tallinn Rising Stars are a very competitive team in 40 overs competition, but Tallinn Stallions are a formidable lineup. I believe Tallinn Stallions will overcome Rising Stars. It would be a heck of a competitive game, and player to watch out for would be Shoaib.
It's good to have the domestic fixtures back on after a 2-week break, and we hope to have you with us on Saturday for the Bluff VPN T20 matches starting from 11:30 Estonian time, and the High 40-40 matches on Sunday also starting from 11:30. A big thank you to our sponsors, Sportsbet.io, High.com, Bluff VPN, Nordcom Batoon and HML Project Management for their continued support of cricket in Estonia.